broke again. So I noticed that fuel trims on the Buick were creeping up at idle specifically, which is a pretty big indicator of a potential vacuum leak. So I went searching for a potential vacuum leak, and I found one from under the supercharger. So we're putting a new supercharger gasket in this again, and this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I mean, this thing's, it's torqued down to spec and everything. I don't know why it's leaking. Pile of garbage. Now all the fun stuff has to happen to get the supercharger out of here. Fuel rail has to come off. Battery has to come out. Okay, really, I think that's about it. Fuel rail, battery, move some spark plugs out of the way, and then I think we're good to go. It's just annoying. Okay, rant time. Why do I hate GM? It's because of stupid mechanic hostile stuff like this. Here's the supercharger. Here's this massive bundle of wires that comes all the way down here and goes all the way down to stuff on the oil pan and whatnot. And then right there connects to the main engine harness. There's nothing that can be done with this. You can't move it out of your way. You've got to snake the entire supercharger assembly out from underneath that huge wire bundle. It is the worst, and I hate it. Well, that is a supercharger out. Right here is where it seemed to be leaking from, and I did retorque the bolts in the immediate vicinity, but I didn't get any improvement. There's nothing too odd about the surface here. That's kind of rough, but I don't know if that's just stuff that was just now pulled off of the gasket or not. At any rate, I'm going to re-prep this surface. I have another gasket. This one, though, I prepped with copper spray. I couldn't find many examples of people who'd done this on intake gaskets, mostly head gaskets and stuff. Really, it's just for looks, honestly. Copper gasket just looks better, but hopefully that'll kind of help glue it to the surface. I'm gonna grab a Scotch-Brite pad and some other stuff and try to clean all this off. Doesn't look like anything really got left behind here. There's a little junk there, and a little piece of the gasket right there, but minor prep required, and it won't be good to go for round two. Definitely going to be a two-person job putting this back in without damaging the gasket, so hopefully I can find someone to help me with that particularly torturous activity, and hopefully we'll be good to go at that point. This is the annoying part, because it has to go under this. Okay, here we go. Got it? Yes. Got it again. Okay, more this way. Yep. That's the dowel rod there. Did we get it? Yeah, that all looks lined up.
That actually went a lot smoother than I anticipated.
Right? Now it's a game of reattaching stuff and torquing down fasteners. Also, I'm sure you noticed, I got a new tool. I have no idea if I'm in frame or not. I got a new tool, and I gotta say that this combined with the M18 half-inch impact is probably the best combination of Milwaukee tools that you can get for a starter two tools. The M18 just does stuff I straight up can't physically do, and this thing just makes life so much easier. What is this switch? Oh, it locks the paddle trigger. That's kind of neat. Anyway, back to work. Well, that wasn't quite as painful as I expected, even without Zeph here to help. Things went back together pretty easily, got everything torqued down. Turns out there is no real dry time for the copper stuff. Once it gets tacky, you just smash it together and away you go. This isn't like the use for it. Usually you use it to help prep like head gaskets, but it did say you could use it for like carburetor gaskets and stuff, so I'm assuming, you know, it's fuel safe. It's okay to be in the intake track of a vehicle or whatever. Let's see. That runs fairly smooth. Very, very upset belts. Take a look at torque here, see what my fuel trims are doing. Well, I don't have the code reader in here, so that might actually be an issue. Let's go find the code reader. After minimal walking in circles, we found the scanner, so let's slap it in here. This has been idling for a while now, so hopefully all the fuel trims and such have settled out. We are up to temperature as well. Long term, hey, under 4%, that's pretty good. MAF's reading a super solid number for an 800 RPM idle. We'll have to do some polls at some point, but I think I want to let it set up overnight before I do that. Let's see if it starts right back up again. Yeah, that's about right. Sweet. All right. It is idling so very smooth as well. I don't know if you noticed, but yes, those were upgraded injectors. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself with some upgrades that'll be in a video later. Still gotta do the fuel pump and then some other stuff, and then we can really get jiggy with it. For now, I just want to get it going on this mild 3.4 setup, get some solid numbers out of it, which is a lot more difficult than it seemed like it would be because this car was just so neglected. Even the great 3800 does need maintenance every once in a while, as it turns out. Okay. It is the daytime. So, before I did that, this car was maxing out at like 8 pounds of boost before it started boost leaking through that, vacuum leak there, and then also the fuel trims were pretty ridiculous. Now, the way that I check my boost pressure is with this torque applet, and this just uses a barometric pressure value that I gave it earlier when I set this up in the first place, which is just kind of the average of what we'd expect at this altitude. So as you can see here, it is off by 0.6 psi, so whatever boost pressure number this shows, we're actually hitting half a psi higher than that. All right, time to see what sort of boost numbers we get. See if we can get a pull through first here. That should give us enough of an idea. All right, it's on 9.4, and we're half a pound off, so that's about almost 10 pounds of positive pressure. So I found my extra missing 2 pounds there by fixing that gasket leak, so that's pretty great. Let's see. I don't know if that leak existed when we did the last performance test of this. I also don't know if it was in Trans Protect mode when I did the last performance test of this. So we're just gonna go over to, let's see, there's a page on here with a bunch of performance stuff, and I'm just gonna run those. And I know it's not ideal because it's not, you know, a 10 hertz GPS or something like that, but it should be close enough to just kind of get a vague idea. Might as well, could be fun. Okay, here we go. I actually remembered to turn off traction control this time. There's our data. 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds, quarter mile in 15.5. God, that's not amazing still. Jeez, what's it take to make these cars go fast? You'd think a supercharged V6 would be capable of a little better than that. It is a big, heavy car. There we have it. That's what it does. That's how the Buick do. It's another Buick episode in the bag. Maybe now I can actually try and break into the 14s with this thing. Time to throw some parts at it, I guess. But considering how much I paid for the car, I guess 15.5 quarter mile, I can't really complain too much, can I? Worth thinking about, I suppose. Thanks for watching.